And a lot of people can't make those choices. And I mean, if you were to ask your family, because you had to leave them at certain points of your life, you left, you know, you left your life in Worcester to come down to New York and do your civil rights stuff. You had to leave to go underground. What would they have to say? I mean, they were the other side of all your activism. How did they feel left above ground, so to speak, without you?
Well,
They felt the
people that love me and that I love understand what my job is. I don't know if it's very different from a fireman. Gee, fireman's got to make some sacrifices if they're going to be good firemen. You know, which is what I wanted to be when I was a little kid, I suppose.
Fireman?
Yeah, little kids today, they don't want to be firemen. They want to be
video makers.
President.
You never wanted to be president? If you were president, imagine the power. If you had that kind of power in the system, all the things that you could do.
I mistitled my autobiography. It's my worst literary mistake. The title should have been None of the Above, because I wanted to be me. I always thought it was an interesting thing to be Abbie. So that was the hardest thing to leave when I was undergrad. I had to get to be some, you know, I had to leave my identity. A lot of the questions that you're asking, they're good questions, but they're kind of the questions that I assume good artists are always asked about their work, and there's a certain mumbling as to how to explain it, because they just feel that it's a manifestation of what they want to say in the world, and it's up to you to judge whether you like it or not, whether it's good or bad, whether it has any value to society or not. I mean, I've already made that decision, obviously, you know, several times.
I know there are people who are interested, though. For instance, somebody with your power and your intellect and your ability to communicate ideas.
Well, I would say influence, not power. Okay. I didn't even have a secretary.
Okay.
No insurance. I don't have life, and I don't have medical insurance. So you know, I don't have power. I have influence.
All right.
I'm a dissident. I mean, you ask me to label myself. I got a lot of labels. They're not the labels that you read in the press or that you might use. But I'm an American dissident. I like that because we don't have any dissidents. They're all over there. So you know, from the position of the power structure, I'm just an ungrateful brat because I. You know, educated, white, etc. Obviously, pretty clever. I could have it all.
Do you feel successful about your life?
Well, it's interesting that I answer these questions a little slower. See, if you asked me that when I was 28, I would say fucking A. But now I would want to say, for the most part, yes. The thing that disappoints me, that doesn't fulfill the last % of the equation to make it fucking A, is how I view young people. You know, I don't have this sense that a lot of people out there under 30 are visionaries who picked up the flag, who carried it on. It's a little embarrassing to be more radical, more activist than the next generation. What you got?
It's an herbal remedy.
Oh, no shit. Oh, what is a remedy? What?
It's for focusing.
Oh.
Take some.
Focusing? Oh, focusing! Oh, it's expensive.
No, it's been...
It's expensive.
No, it's not expensive.
Sure. Oh, then what do you want to sell? Well, why not? Why not focus a lot?
The vibrations, Abbie, the vibrations.
Well, focus a lot. I mean, now let me see.
Okay, Maslow, who's one of your guys, right? He talks about peak experience, the time of the greatest understanding.
Yeah.
Of all your the
big
60s, the 70s, Chicago, the Wall Street when you tore up money, raising the Pentagon. When was your peak experience? Has it happened yet? Have you had your
peak experience? Every orgasm's peak experience, every one.
Everyone's new and different.
Every one of the 17,800 or whatever, on and on. Peak experience, Politically peak experience? You mean personal?
Personal.
When I quit smoking 17 years ago and never started again, because a lot of people I know that quit at that time, they went back. So personally, I was always very, I learned that I wasn't a drug abuser, or I didn't have an addictive personality. So quitting smoking was personally very rewarding. Politically,
Thank you.
thanks. You're welcome. Politically, being another person, taking on the Army Corps of Engineers, very powerful force, one that's an urban society like this is totally unaware of Army Corps of Engineers.
When, in relation to
upstate
what?
New York, when I was a fugitive,
That
they wanted
Seaway
to do
stuff?
something that would have cost this country $20 billion and would have absolutely wrecked, you know, our greatest source of fresh water, Great Lakes. And to be that person there at that time that not only feels outraged about that situation, that feels there's something wrong, but simultaneously is cognizant of the strategy to prevent that whole catastrophe from going down, even though it meant my life. So would have
you were
been
still underground.
Oh yeah,
and you
I
would
was
have
facing life imprisonment. I was facing death because both Joanna and I knew that if I was in a situation where I thought they nailed me, I was gone. I was running. I'd rather face death than prison. Yeah, within reason.
How
couple of months, okay.
How disgusting is prison?
This prison
You've been
is
in a few of them.
well, in the United States.
Yeah, you've seen it.
Yeah, I've been busted 41 times. I've been spent about 2¼ years in prisons and jails. Not too bad considering the shit I got away with.
That was not 2.5 years together. It was broken.
No, I should have been dead by now. So like 2¼ years of prison. It's like, hey, you know, free supper here, sergeants, on your expense accounts. All right, 50s. What's prison like? Terror. Constant fear of violence. It's an exaggerated microcosm of the society at large. What I was saying about the jungle, you know, how they teach you it's a jungle out there, it's to be avoided, it's to protect yourself as an individual constantly, because it's strong, social Darwinian, strong, eat the weak. Well, prison is like magnified like crazy. And terror and violence are used by the whole prison system, and indeed our whole society, to break down any bonds of community. If you make a friend in prison, they move the friend to another prison. If you are politically active, which shows some impulses towards community, you know, they will beat you, they will torture you, and they will kill you. And everything that's used is geared around the violence. The violence of the inmates is tolerated. A good percent of inmates in all the prisons with walls have weapons. The guards know it. The guards love it. Well, if they don't, they quit. I'm in a maximum security joint, and a guy comes up to me who's obviously very starker. I mean, 1,000 push-ups a day, you know?
So what's that mean?
Starker. I mean, I just said it, 1,000 push-ups a day. I mean, really strong, really fucking nuts, you know, basket case, which a lot of people in prison are, and tells me I'm doing 300 years. Dig it? I kill you, I'll be famous when I get to Attica. That's the kind of situation that is very tough to deal with. We in South Africa are the only voting countries that have capital punishment. We're the only 2 voting countries that don't have a universal health care system, too. Disgusting.